Okay, this is the drainage trench from the alongside the front of the house, and this is really bad. And you can see where he made it even worse recently. He made a retaining wall that directs it right at the house, dug another trench down the middle of that, and it just drains right here, swamping our house. A lot of water. Just a huge amount of water. Not normal. Shows you the amount of water accumulated from coming from his yard into our front yard. It's just a lake, a total lake. And part of the reason for that is the drainage pipes he severed. We dug channels everywhere for this water, but no matter what we do, we can't keep up with it because he keeps making it worse and worse and worse. You can see just a lot of water. It's overflowing right here onto our driveway. There's a drainage tube that goes along here. This is all from Roland's yard. Comes out here into our yard and makes this incredible creek along our entire west wall, west side of the property. And there's a crazy cat, not our cat, but a wild cat lives here. Yeah. You see the water. More water. Even our path, this is the highest point of the yard, it's inundated. This whole thing is full of water. Swamp. We're talking now, this is water coming out of our house. It's undermining the foundation. It's in our crawl space because it's only 5 feet from Blaine's yard where he carved out that big swimming pool of his on purpose. So we have no way to get rid of all this. It just comes straight under our house. Swamps everything. Total lake. You can see it just running, just huge amounts of water. Swamping everything. And my trees, even though they're swamp trees, They can't survive it because it's just too much. Pretty much just liquefied the entire yard. This is what happens when it rains. And of course it rains a lot in Oregon. And it just pretty much swamps everything. And here's the pond that it drains into. He's got some sort of appliance that isn't hooked up to his illegal sewer, and it has all these chemicals and suds in it. That's illegal. And he won't fix it. A lot of water. This water just pours in here from his yard, and it doesn't stop 8 months out of the year. It just pours. We put a lot of big rock dams in to slow the velocity because it was eroding all the topsoil we brought in. Just a swamp. It's one of the many bridges we put in the yard to be able to walk through. It is so wet from his runoff that we can't even grow grass in here. It's just a swamp mud. We planted all kinds of swamp ground covers, aggressively rooted, and they can't survive this. And this water's running pretty hard. Blue Arctic willows that we planted that suckered, Smithianas, that we've left some suckers up to try to soak up the water. More runoff from his yard. Again, it's running pretty quickly. Before we put the bridges in, it was white water. It was white foamy caps. Put the big rock dams in. We've lost most of the trees we planted because nothing can survive this. And we lost some coastal pines here that are supposed to be able to handle massive amounts of water. We lost Sitka spruces and thujas and deodars and Coast redwoods, all kinds of trees that are supposed to be able to handle this. It's just too much water. Here you can see it's just pouring in from his yard where he dug that huge trench and illegally diverted all the runoff into our yard. Just pouring in. Pouring in and flooding us. And then of course he put this berm right over where it used to naturally flow, so it was blocked, and created this huge pool that just sits against our foundation and has liquefied under it and gone all through our house and crawl space and rusted all the supports and is tilting the house, cracking it, and basically toppling the house. Our tree wells are completely filled with water. This is his yard is right there. It's just 5 feet away. Complete swamp against our fence. He won't fix it. And it's just, all this water is going into our crawl space and under the foundation of the house right here. And we already have multiple trenches and French drains here, but it cannot handle the sheer volume of water that he has illegally diverted into our house on purpose. We're just swamped, we're flooded. It comes up and it's just a lake out there. That's over the fence into his yard that he scooped that out on purpose with a bulldozer. It's below the level of our foundation, so it just seeps right through and undermines everything. He said he'd put up a dirt berm, raised berm, but he's never done it, and he wouldn't allow us to do it even after we bought the dirt ourselves. He ripped off the vines. We have some clematis armandi blooming. He said our vines were dead. They're not dead at all. They're dormant in the winter. And they suck up the water. You can see they were planted along the fence to try to suck this up, and he rips them out. This is our fence. This is clematis. This is trumpet vine. And this water is coming, it's seeping up from the lake he made on the other side, seeping up onto our sidewalk and going into our house. That's how much water there is here. And there are French drains under here and creeks, open creeks and French drains, and it doesn't work. There's just too much water. You can see along the fence right here, it's just water. He did that on purpose. He drained his property right down into ours. so that he doesn't have a water problem. We have a severe water problem.